Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reorganizing my entire bookshelf and my book cart. I got this book cart back in May, so that was like 8 months ago, and about 4 to 5 months in, I realized that my books have been like oxidizing by the sun. Like it has a lot of sun damage, which turned the books yellow. Let me show you. I don't know if you can actually really tell on camera, but you can see that the bottom is way lighter than the top, which has been sitting like this on my book cart. So the sun has been shining on this side and the top. Actually, this is a great example because this one is the newest one that I got, and I already have these two sitting on my shelf like 2 months before I got this book. And you can see the first and last book is completely yellow, even though they started out as white. These are the yellow books, but the top and the bottom has such a drastic difference because of the sun. And I was so sad when I found that out. I really like the book cart placement. I really like that the window is right behind it, and then there's so much sunlight, and it just looks great in this corner because this corner is like, it has like a divot and an angle, so it's really hard to put anything in there. So I thought this book cart would like perfectly fit in there. So this was just a perfect place, but the books really shouldn't be so close to the window because of the sun damage. So I think what I'm gonna do is to take all the books out, put them on this shelf. There's just a bunch of crap on this shelf that I'm gonna see if I can try to put them on this cart. So this is no longer going to be my book cart. I'm gonna put all my books on my actual shelf. Even though I found this out around like September, I didn't actually do anything about it because I just love like this space so much, and I just try to not open my blinds in the morning, but at the same time I love having a bright room, so it was just kind of like conflicting. And I think I finally decided that I no longer want to damage my books. First, let's get rid of all of these. I'm gonna just take out all the non-book related things like this. Oops. I've been wanting to like reorganize my shelf for the longest time, but I've just been like so lazy. But I hope this will look really good, especially for the new year. I always like rearranging my room to spice up my room and space that I already own instead of buying decorations. I got my trusty mic here. I hope it's working. Okay, so for this shelf, I have it organized as fantasy, and then the romance over there, and then like other fantasy slash dystopians, and then at the bottom is all the other books that I have already read. So I'm wondering what I should do for this shelf. Maybe I'll do like the similar vibes, like fantasy up here, and then just literary fiction down here, and then nonfiction here. And I think I'll keep my notebook sections here. Okay, let's start with taking out all the fantasy from here. I keep want to put my hair up. Here's my hair clip. I guess while I'm reorganizing my bookshelf, I can also show you guys what's on my actual physical TBR, because that is one of my goals this year, is to only read what I physically own in my room and on my shelf, because I have way too many books that I want to get through, and no more buying books because I'm starting to get really overwhelmed with the amount of books that I have. Okay, I recently just got this series, Kingdom of the Wicked. I got this from the library. It was a donation, but I took it because I manage the YA section, and that's a privilege of volunteering at the library. And these are in great condition, and I have heard good things about this book. I don't actually know what the order is. In here, wait, this is, okay, I think it's like this. Okay, and then let's see, I have the Natural series here. First 3 books. I believe there's the fourth one. I heard a lot of good things, that it's very fast paced, so I'm saving this for when I'm in the reading slump, because I heard that this is really good to get out of a reading slump because of how fast paced it is. what else? Oh, I guess dystopian can go in there too. I think I'll keep like classics on here. Oh, Red Rising, Serpent, Wings, Dance of Thieves, The False Prince. Okay, I think this is all my remaining fantasy. At Dance of Thieves, I got this like 2 years ago from Barnes & Noble and have not read it yet. I think I'm gonna do a different unhauling video in the future, but right now I just want to get these on my shelf. Oh, I have Red Rising and The Serpent. The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I always butcher the title of this. Anyways, these are all books that I have not read. I have the second book of this one, but I think it's downstairs, so I'm gonna get that later. And then for here, this is a dystopian girl version of The Hunger Games. I think this is compared to like The Handmaid's Tale and The Hunger Games. Very intriguing. Oh wait, it's here. I have the second book here. So there. Babel. Huh. What if I do it like this? Like a bookstore? I don't think it's actually gonna fit that many books, so I'm gonna keep it like this for now. And then, okay, let's go into maybe just other fictions. Like I have Circe that I haven't read. I really want to get to. Oh, these are like one of my oldest TBR books. Got this at a thrift store like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't actually know if I'll ever get to them, but they can stay here for now. I have The Nightingale. I also really want to read this. And then I have the Beartown series, but I think I'm missing one book or two. I don't know. I think it's The Winners, but I've heard great things about this. Small town ice hockey competition. Tragedy. Sounds very intriguing. Sarah Caroli really recommends this, so really excited to get to this soon. I know I say that for every single book, but I really do want to get to all of them. I have The False Prince. I read this in like 7th grade or 8th grade when I first moved to the US. This was one of the first books I ever read in fully English, so this has a really emotional, sentimental value to me. I think I'll reread this one day. So it's here for memory's sake. I guess I'll put thrillers here too. I read this already. This was really great. If you want something really dark and twisted, you should read this. I also read The Housemaid in December. It was okay, TBH. I had really high expectations. It was still fun and really fast paced and entertaining, but it wasn't like anything crazy. I feel like a lot of people hype that book up, but it's really just okay. I read this last December too. This was also really good. I have The Unworthy by Agostina Bastarrica. I read Tenders the Flesh last year and I absolutely loved it. It's become one of my favorite reads. But this one, I DNF'd it at like halfway. I just really couldn't get into it. I didn't understand the world and what was going on. And so it was just really hard for me to get into. So honestly, I might unhaul this later. I read this last year too. It left me really confused. It wasn't what I was expecting, and it wasn't as good or as mind-blowing or as twisted or as psychological as I would like, but I still enjoyed it. I low-key kind of forgot what it was about, but I did have some highlighted quotes. So I don't know if I would recommend that. Oh, my feet really hurts. Hold on. Oh, okay. I think we're gonna get into fiction now. I think maybe start with my classics. So I have a bunch right here. Some I have read, some I have not. Some I want to reread. I have The Outsider, Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, and Their Eyes Were Watching God. Read that in high school. I want to reread it. I have also read this in high school. Want to reread it. The Bell Jar. Haven't read it. Want to read it. Lolita. Haven't read it. Pride and Prejudice. Haven't read it. This hair is really bothering me. Hold on. Okay. Stay back. I don't actually know how I look, but I hope it's fine. Lord of the Rings, 1984, and In Frank's Diary. I read 1984 last year. Have not read Anne Frank. Read Lord of the Flies in high school. Want to reread it. Kite Runner, haven't read it, but I read A Thousand Splendid Suns and it was really, really good. The Virgin Suicide, haven't read it. The Soul of an Octopus, haven't read it, but ever since I read Remarkably Bright Creatures, but I love that book, so I want to read something about octopus. This is nonfiction. And then I have The Bluest Eye, Toni Morrison, read this, didn't love it. Hello Beautiful, haven't read this. Severance by Ling Ma, haven't read this. Invisible Man, haven't read this. I have The Book Thief right here. I just read this before my current read. I don't know if I like this or not. I really like the characters, but I just couldn't really get into it. Overall, it just was pretty flat and dragged on for me. So, which I'm really sad because it was a really highly anticipated read for me. I have Never Let Me Go, haven't read this. Now we will move on to the rest of my fiction books. I have Mitch Albom's Twice. This was his newest release. Really good. Recommend it if you want to have an existential crisis and think about your life. I have Magnolia Parks and A Little Life. Read this. Have not read this. Addicted to You. Have not read this. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. I've also have had this on my shelf for like 3 years. I got this at Goodwill a long time ago. Haven't read it. The creator of BoJack Horseman's book. I think this is a bunch of little short stories. I tried reading it on my trip to Italy, but I couldn't really get into it. I think I maybe read like 30 pages. So I don't know if I will pick that up again. The Onion Honeymooners. This was fun, cheesy, silly, good palate cleanser. I just got this yesterday at my volunteer at the library again. I have A Lesson Before Dying. I was recommended this by people who say if I really like Tuesdays with Maury and Five People You Meet in Heaven, I should read this. So I'm really excited when I found this, and it's only like 250 pages. I also have the signed edition by V.E. Schwab of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This came out last June, and I'm really excited to read this. This was the library book, but they're getting rid of it, so obviously I snatched it because it's signed. And I read Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab like 4 years ago when I first started my reading journey, and it was like one of the pivotal books that made me get into reading and what jump-started my reading journey. So V.E. Schwab is a really special author to me, and I really want to read more of her work. Put it, I guess this is kind of odd, sticking out in the middle. So I'm gonna, oops, oh, I got it. It's my perfume. Ooh, oh, this really fit. Skinny Thoughts. There we go. Yay! Wait, this looks so good. Okay, I'm really happy. At the bottom of my shelf, I have a bunch of non-fictions. I'm not a big non-fiction girly, but as you can see, I have quite a lot for a non-fiction reader because I told myself last year that I want to get into it. Have not gotten into it yet, but one day we will. I still want to get into it, seeing how many books I want to read, only time can tell. I have Rich Dad, Poor Dad, classic financial book. Here. Chasing the Scream, A Search for the Truth About Addiction. I got this in New Zealand because that was also a time where I feel like I was about to get into nonfiction. But obviously I did not because that was almost 3 years ago and I have not touched this. Bright Future. I was an environmental science and policy major, so I'm really interested in climate change and sustainability and just the environmental world. I was thinking that I can get into some environmental books. Have not read it. It's been like 2 years. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This is a memoir. A New Earth. This is actually, I have no idea. I just kept seeing this book around so often. This is so crisp. Obviously, I have not touched it since I bought it. I think this is just a book about your life's purpose. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think this is a classic nonfiction book. Have not read it. Would love to win some friends this year. Why We Sleep. Heard good things about it. I haven't read any of these books, guys. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Also another classic. Lifespan, a book about why we age and why we don't have to. Every time I go back to Taiwan to visit my grandma, I always get really sad and just ponder a lot about life whenever I go back to Taiwan, just seeing how all my family are getting older, especially if I only see them like once a year. Seeing the changes with them is especially drastic. So when I came back from my trip, I got this at a library event because I wanted to read more about aging and how to not be scared of it. I actually have read this. This is Ikigai. This is about a Japanese philosophy on what you do, what you're good at, and what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. All together is your Ikigai, which is basically your life's purpose. I thought this book was okay. I got some things out of it, but most of the things talked about in this book is pretty repetitive and stuff I already know. So I think that's just like every self-help book, is that take what you need, leave what you don't. So personally, it was just okay. Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Parton. This is another memoir. A lot of people recommend this to girls who are in their early or mid 20s because this really gives good advice and gives you an outlook on your life changing and going into adulthood and all the different aspects of that. And then I have The Rape of Nanking. I've heard a lot about this event, which a lot of people don't know, and it was not covered a lot. So I want to educate myself. I think knowing history is so important, and this is one of the events that is not talked about enough. Becoming Bulletproof. I actually saw an interview with the author on TikTok. I think The Diary of a CEO, that podcaster interviewed her, who is like an ex-CIA special agent, FBI agent. And this book is talking about how to protect yourself, be alert all the time, knowing what kind of danger is out there. So I think this is a very important book. The interview looked really interesting, and I saw this book at a used bookstore, so I decided to pick it up to hopefully better myself. I have two Chinese books right here. It's also nonfiction and self-help-ish books. This is on how to communicate and articulate yourself better, and this one is about business management and communication and how to work with other people within business. I got these at a time where I really want to practice reading my Chinese, because ever since I moved to the US, my Chinese has only progressively gotten worse and worse and worse each year. Even though I'm fluent, I really want to preserve my Mandarin and stop it from degrading every year. So I got these books hoping to help with that. And some random, really old books that I have had. This memoir book from Karen Chen. I found this downstairs just in my house. I think this is probably my parents'. This is The Geography of Thought, and I kind of skimmed through this while I was cleaning my house one day. This was about how people from different places have different thought process and how their different background environments make them see things differently, life outlooks and different philosophies and beliefs, and how that different geography creates that difference. And I got this book at a library paperback sale, and because I love chocolate and the inside graphics is super cute. I love all the different artwork. It's so cute, and it's just like a very funny and silly and sarcastic book on how to eat chocolate. And I have already read this, and I'm really sad that while I was reading this entire thing came off. I guess I can just easily stick it back in, but I already read this, so I might unhaul it. My last two book is The Fault in Our Stars and Everything. Wait, what is that other book? Oh, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Somehow I keep getting those two books mixed up, but this is Everything. I have no idea how I actually got these two books. I think these might be my sister's because she used to be a bigger reader than me. Planners here. I have Madeline Miller's little novella, Galatea. I read this already. This here. There's still some space down here. I'm pretty surprised. I generally thought there's gonna be no room left when I put all these books on. I guess I have like extra books over here that's spewing out that I can put. Can I put it here? Yes, I can. Yay! Okay, now it's full. Now putting back all of my stuffies of kiwi bird. Another kiwi bird here. So cute. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take a thumbnail picture of the before and now I only have the after. This always happens. I always forget to take thumbnail pictures. I have this media box where I have my Nintendo Switch right here. 3 of my games that I don't really play anymore, but I still like to keep my Nintendo just in case I ever feel like becoming a gamer, which has not happened. This is a bookshelf video. This is not a go through every single thing that you own video. You know what? I'm just gonna come back after I have figured out how to organize all my stuff. Okay, and this is the final result. I'm pretty happy on how it turned out. I think it's great that now both of my bookshelves are actually books on there, and that I still have space on my book cart for other miscellaneous stuff that I might collect for the next couple of years. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!